So yeah, we should begin this now. So here the question says you're given an 8 by 8 by 8 cube. What you see here is a 4-inch by 4-inch by 4-inch. So this is a 4-inch by 4-inch by 4-inch cube, which is given to you for just for your reference. And the question, what it is asked is an 8 by 8 by 8 inches cube, which is painted red on all faces. Like this cube of 4 by 4 by 4 is painted blue on all faces, the 8 by 8 by 8 inches cube is painted red on all faces. The cube is then sliced into smaller or equal sized cubes of 1 inch each, 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. So like this 4 inches cube is sliced into 1 inch smaller cubes, this 8 by 8 by 8 cube is also sliced into 1 inch smaller cubes. What you have to find is the number of small cubes that will have exactly 2 red faces. When this whole cube is sliced and we get different 1 by 1 by 1 cubes. So a 4-inch cube will have 64 total number of blue colored cubes, and 8 by 8 by 8 will have 64 into 8. That is how much? How much is 64 into 8?
5 and 2.
5 and 2 smaller cubes. Out of those 5 and 2 smaller cubes, some will have no surfaces colored, some will have 3 surfaces colored, some will have only 1 surface colored, and some will have 2 red colored surfaces colored. What you have to find is how many of the cubes will have 2 red surfaces colored. Anybody can guess how do we proceed with this?
Ma'am, we can calculate the number of cubes with 2 red faces on one edge and multiply it by 12.
Okay. There won't be 2 cubes on one edge with 2 red surfaces. In fact, when there is when there are 8 in the 8 by 8 by 8 inches cube, there will be exactly on one edge, on this edge, there will be exactly 4 cubes with 2 red surfaces, because the top cube and the bottom cube. So if I take this one edge, for instance, this edge, if I take, there will be one bottom cube and there will be one top cube, which will have 3 surfaces colored with red. Now, when this changes to 6, this is a 4 by 4 by 4 cube. When this changes to 8 total number of cubes on this edge, 8 minus the top and the bottom cube will be 4 cubes in the middle. In the middle, we will have 4 cubes then, plus 1 on top and 1 on bottom, which 6. Sorry, 6. Sorry, 6. Why am I writing 4? Sorry, 6. There will be 6 surfaces. So, 6 cubes in the middle. Like the 4 by 4 has 2 cubes in the middle, the 8-inch cube will have 6 cubes in the middle and 1 on top, which is 7, and 1 on bottom, which is 8. That way it will have 8 cubes like this. Thank you so much for correcting me. So likewise, in a cube, we have how many edges? How many edges are present in a cube?
12.
12. So 6 into 12 is how much?
72.
That's your answer. So 72 is the total number of smaller cubes that will have exactly 2 surfaces colored. There won't be only those cubes which are in the middle, except the top and the bottom cube are the ones which will have 2 surfaces with red color. And that's why we say there are, in an 8-inch cube, there will be 6 cubes in the middle of each edge, which has 2 red surfaces colored, and there are 12 edges in a cube. Hence 6 into 12 is 72. So that's our answer. Is this clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a series question. You're given the series 12, 24, 21, 42, 39, 78. Which number would come next? Which will be the next number after 78? Okay. First of all, any logical sequence anybody is able to find?
73.
73. Okay. Somebody says 73.
93.
93. Okay. What is the logic?
Ma'am, every alternate number is the opposite of the first number. 12 and 20.
But that doesn't follow here, no? 21 के बाद ये 42 आया.
Ma'am,
With
but it's the
39.
opposite of 24.
24 का ये opposite है. 21 का ये ठीक है, आपने बोला 12 है. 39 का आप बोल रहे हो यहाँ पे 93 आना चाहिए. But what I see is I don't see any relationship between 12 and 24. 24 and 21 and 42. 42 के बाद ये 39 कहाँ से आया, वो लॉजिक नहीं है उसमें.
Ma'am, 66.
66. Okay, how 66?
75.
Every alternate number has a difference of 9, and the difference increases by 9 as we go on.
Okay, so 24 minus 12.
No, alternate
24.
number.
Every alternate number. So 21 minus 12. Okay, 9. 24 minus 42. तो ये तो नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ पे.
No, but
आप क्या बोल रहे हो?
if we check 39 minus 21, then it's 18.
Ma'am, 75.
75.
Okay, wait.
Into 2 minus 3. Into
Okay.
2 minus
एक minute. One at a time, please. Okay, somebody also said 75. कैसे आया वो 75?
Ma'am, double and then minus 3.
Double and minus 3. Double मतलब किसका double?
12 into 2, 24, and then minus 3 means 21.
Okay, then आगे.
Yes, from 75.
हाँ, पर फिर उसके आगे कैसे आया ये 42, 39, 78?
21 into 2, it is 42, and then minus 3 means
Minus 3 is
39.
39. So then 78 will be how?
39 into 2.
Into 2. Okay. 78 minus 3 is 75. Okay. Take it. This fits because all the numbers are interrelated here in this logic, which somebody, I'm not able to see the names, but 4-5 people were saying about this. Take it. Chalo. I was in the middle of something. Somebody had said 66 with difference of 9. Let's check that relationship if it works or not. I don't know who was talking at that time. Can anybody tell me who was talking?
Yes, ma'am, I was talking.
Haan, bolo.
So I was telling that that relation only works for 12, 22, 39, and so on.
12, 21,
Yeah.
39. उसमें ही काम कर रहा है. What about 24, 42 and 78?
That doesn't work there.
Okay. Okay, the correct answer here is 75, very rightly guessed. The logic that it was similar to what somebody had suggested the logic. So I straight away, when I was sorting this out, I straight away suggested that everything is divisible by 3. All numbers are divisible by 3. So what I did was I just wrote down which are the what are the numbers. So 3 into 4, so 4, 8, then 21 is 7, then 42 is 13, 14, sorry, 14, 39 is 13, 78 is 78 divided by 3 was 26. 26 is correct. 26, yes. So when I wrote this down, there was very clear relationship which was coming. One was 4 into, so I started saying that, ठीक है, चलो ये दोनों है, 4 into 3 into 4 and sorry 3 into 4 and 3 into 8. Then I say 8 के बाद जो next number आ रहा है ये 7 आ रहा है. 8 minus 1 is 7, which is 7 into 3 is 21. Then I said कि ठीक है, then let me say 14 7 मतलब 4 into 2 8 आया, 7 into 2 14 आया, 13 into 2 26 आया. So my calculation that way was more complex than somebody had suggested the solution here. So somebody was saying the solution as 12 into 2 24, 24 minus 3 is 21, 21 into 2 42, minus 3 is 39, 39 into 2 78, minus 3 is 75. That way you will arrive at 75. So if I go that way, 75 यहाँ से ऐसे आएगा, and if I go with this logic saying 4 into 2 8, 8 into 3 24 here, then इसका minus 1 7 आएगा, so 3 into 7 21, 7 का double 14, इसलिए यहाँ पे 14 आएगा, multiply by 3 करोगे, so that way you get 42 here. 14 minus 1 13, 13 into 3 is 39, which comes here. 13 into 2 next, because it's an even place में it gets double, so 13 into 2 26, 26 into 3 is 78. 26 के बाद ये odd place आ रहा है, odd place में even place का minus 1, which is 25. So 25 into 3 is 75. So my logic was very complex compared to somebody was suggesting here. So either ways, the correct answer we arrive at is 75. It's similar. Both the logics are related to each other. Mine was a little bit complicated than what was suggested here. Okay. So anybody wants to say anything about this? Okay, fine. ठीक है. चलो. We'll go to the next one then. Which of the following vehicles have a rear engine? Generally, a car has an engine in the front. Which of these vehicles have a rear engine? Anybody?
Tata Nano.
Yes, very straightforward. It's Tata Nano. This one. It has, if you look at the design of the car, the front bonnet is very small. The engine is kept on the back. That's why when you're, I mean that nano car, that way it's very helpful when you're climbing a cliff, because it pushes the vehicle from the back, even though it's small. Yeah, so A is the correct answer, Tata Nano. Then this is code related question where you are given some weird word, and it means something. So wiggle slow means flat pin, whittle brop means round nib, slom wiggle means pen ink. If you have this basic information, what does this word nib store means? Anybody? How do we go about this, or anybody who has arrived at the answer?
A.
Okay, Prap Dansa. A. Okay.
Ma'am, A as well.
A as well. All right. Anybody?
A.
Okay. Okay. So the logic, it's very simple, straightforward. The logic says, 1 second here. We'll divide this into two parts like this: wiggles and slom, and flat and pen. So flat means wiggles and slom means pen. That way, whittle brap, in whittle wrap, we have round nib. So whittle means round and brap means nib. So we have to find nib store. So nib means BRAP. So anything which starts with BRAP is the correct one. So in this case, we have two options, BRAP dancer and BRAP wiggle. Now there is no information about this word, but definitely there is an information about this word, which is wiggle. So wiggle means ink in the third relationship. That's where option D is wrong. And the correct one is option A. Braptanza. We don't know what store means. We don't know what store means. And that's where by the logic of saying that because it starts with brap in the middle, in the starting, because nib means brap, and we have two other words. In the options, we have two words, one with ending with wiggle and one ending with dancer. And we know wiggle means ink, and that's where only option A stands true of all three, of all four, sorry. Is this clear? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're given this, you're given a pen, a nib, you're given a nib, and you can, using that nib, when drawn a straight line, when that nib is drawn in a straight line direction, what we get is this kind of stroke, which is seen here, this stroke. Now, when without changing the angle of the nib, the nib is kept in the same angle. If we supposed to rotate it in a circle, how will that circle look of all these four options?
C.
C.
C? You said C?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, C is the correct one. So when it in the starting, it goes, because one second. Because this direction, it's almost 45 to 60. So when you, it starts with, that way it starts with this. In that, if that direction, if I go with C, it starts with the thicker line. And then when it arrives at this angle of 45, it becomes almost straight. Here in B, it is the mirror of C. And that's where it cannot start with a straight line if, if the mirror of this thing was given, if the angle was in that direction, the angle was in this direction, then B was the correct option. With this angle, option C is the correct one. And if the angle was almost 30 degrees. So generally, how do we see is also, this is also one logic through which you can see it. Here, this flat line is almost coming at 45 degrees with reference to the horizontal. Here, this is almost coming at an angle of 60 degrees, almost. This is coming at an angle of 45 degrees in the other quadrant. And here it is coming at an angle of 60 degrees in the other quadrant. So that way, we understood that this one and this one are mirror of each other almost, and this is not a 45 degree, but it's almost like 60 degree kind of an angle. So that way this doesn't hold true. It could be either B or C, and because in B the angle is in the other direction, that's why we'll go with option C. Logically, I calculated it in that way. So if any other kind of form is also given, look at the angle, look at the point at which this line becomes thinner, and try locating that line, and it will always be with reference to this angle, which is shown here.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, will there be a difference if we consider it from clockwise or anti-clockwise?
No, it won't be. It won't be any difference. There won't be any difference, because if I'm moving in that direction, तो इसके opposite ही आएगा. अब clockwise घूमो anti-clockwise घूमो, नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा. It depends on the angle, Dhruv. I think Dhruv you were saying, I don't know, but it depends on this angle. and the ये जो thin वाला point है ना, it will always arrive at that angle. जो ये वाला एंगल होगा वहां पे ही ये थिन वाला पॉइंट लोकेट होगा, द थिन लाइन बेसिकली. Did I answer you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Anybody wants to say anything or ask anything here? Okay. So can you all do a quick search of all these time periods and the kind of art forms that were happening? Renaissance, Baroque, Realism, Cubism. The correct sequence, logical sequence is this: Renaissance, Baroque, Realism, and Cubism. This is the correct sequence, which is option D. But I would request you to just have a quick look at the art movements, at the art forms that were happening in all these 4 eras. Just do a very quick Google search, please. They are drastically different. Baroque is the most decorative one out of it. Realism is something closer to what actuality looks like. Cubism is abstract form of what actual things look like. And Renaissance is it's more kind of an it's not related to abstract, but the decorative elements are very differently articulated. They're quite minimalist here in Renaissance period, and Baroque is over decorative. Can you all quickly do a quick search, or even build form also? I mean, architecture also, you can have a look at it. Just take 5 minutes and start and do it, okay?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, Renaissance and Baroque look very similar.
Wait. No, Renaissance, Baroque is over decorative. Baroque is where, you know, decoration was taking over. So if you look at the architecture of it, Baroque times, it was like adding more and more elements, even in architecture and even in the artworks. Renaissance is slightly lighter compared to Baroque. Baroque is just adding too much inside the art forms.
Okay, ma'am.
And also another, okay, somebody is doing something. Also, a very significant aspect, if you look at Renaissance painting or Baroque painting, there's also one very distinct feature is a symmetrical aspect. Renaissance will always have some kind of geometrical implications in the work. Renaissance artwork always has geometry in place. So it could be symmetrical. Mostly it will be symmetrical in nature. Baroque painting don't have that strong reflection of geometry. They do have some geometry at play, but it's not as strongly represented. And also, if you look at closely at Italian Renaissance artwork, there will be something in the focus. Either the space will be in the focus, or some person will be in focus, or some interplay might be in focus. If you look at Baroque art forms, there is nothing in focus. Everything will have some or the other importance. So, you know, when you're looking at Baroque art forms, your eyes might move from one area to another area to another area to another area. Whereas in Italian Renaissance, you know exactly where to look at, where to focus. These are some very basic feature to distinguish between the two art forms. I hope I answered you. I don't know who asked.
Yes, ma'am, I got the difference.
Okay, okay. And also, Baroque will be a little bit more dramatic in terms of colors also used. Italian Renaissance painting will be more subtle in nature. Okay, shall we proceed, students?
Yes.
Okay. So here you're given this feature. A feature is described, which is a zir, which is used in desert climate of Egypt. It's a pot and pot refrigerator where a small earthen pot is kept inside a large earthen pot or large pot, and the larger pot is filled with wet sand, which over time cools the smaller earthen pot from the inside. How does the cooling occur in this kind of product? There is, in this case, I'm just going to go by options. Okay, so is it a coolant induced cooling? Coolant induced cooling is when there is some kind of not fluid also, but some kind of material kept in between, which allows for the cooling of the other object. The material which is kept there in between, because of that material, the material has the capacity to either store heat or either allow for cooling to occur also, because of which the earthen pot gets cooled. There's another option which says evaporative cooling, in which case what happens is in this so I just go to the phenomena itself, which is the pot and pot cooler. So in that case, the cooling occurs by because also of the porosity that is present in the wet sand. So it is a wet sand which allows for which takes inside the heat that is there of the outside and also of the inside of the smaller pot. When because the wet sand has pores and also it has air inside this micro pores, when the air flows through that sand, it's not like a wind, but when air moves through the sand, the sand cools that air around inside that bigger pot, and because of that cooler air, the the temperature within that larger pot is reduces, and also which in turn affects the materials which are kept inside the smaller pot. So that's how the cooling occurs in this kind of pot and pot refrigerator. This kind of process is not a coolant based cooling, but instead it's an evaporative cooling. Coolant based cooling is something where some kind of material, because of its hidden capacity to store heat or release heat, because of the material itself, the cooling is occurring. In this case, the cooling occurs because of the way the air reacts. The air reacts with sand. The way sand is able to take inside the heat of the outside as well as the inside of the pot. Pressure cooling is not an option here. Sandblast cooling is of course not an option. There is something called sandblast cleaning. Sandblast cleaning, पता है किसी को क्या होता है? Anybody knows what is sandblast cleaning process or sandblasting as a process? Anybody knows that? Have you come across that word in physics or chemistry? Anybody? Students? Okay, fine. So sandblasting is a process where smaller particles of sand along with water are pressurized onto some surface to remove either the paint, to remove either the dirt that is there on some surface, which is not happening here. So that is a wrong option. Pressure cooling bhi yahan pe nahi ho raha hai. There is nothing under pressure which is there. So the correct option, which is also given, is the evaporative cooling here. If somebody is saying something. Stavan and Radhika, when did you wrote these options? I don't know. I just saw it right now. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Students, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you have any questions in the explanation which I gave for this phenomena, for the kind of cooling? You have any questions related to this? Okay, fine. ठीक है. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Stavan. I just read your message. All right. So here you're given 4 different types of cycle frames. You have to guess which is the correct cycle frame.
B.
Yes, B is the correct one here. When somebody sits on it, you always, in order for the pressure to get distributed, it cannot be distributed if there is some kind of a joint like this. Even distributed if there's some kind of joint like this, otherwise this might come down. So option A is wrong. Option B is it's similar to what we see in normal cycles as. So I'm not going to talk much there. But in option C, in option C, this kind of leg which happens here, which is more like a support for also the seat and also for the front, also for this front, the front wheel, which allows you to take a turn or which allows you to, move appropriately on a straight path. That is present, that is absent. This steer which supports the load that is coming on this side, and also which keeps this stable, which keeps the steering stable, is absent in C. And in option D also, this stability is not there, but they have given the rod here, which is not required anyways. So option B is the correct one, closest one, which is what we see in nowadays, in cycles nowadays. It's very straightforward. I'll just move to the next question then. Can you all please look at the logos of all these 4 institutes? The correct option here is Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. This logo is of IIT Hyderabad. But can you look at the logos of the other 3 institutes which are written here? Can you do a quick search, please? Just search one more logo, National Digital Literacy Mission. There is National Literacy Mission, and there is also something called National Digital Literacy Mission. Uska bhi ek search kar dena. Just type it here. And also IIM Ahmedabad. IIM, Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Can you do a quick search of all these 6 places? Huh? National Literacy Mission, Indian Book House, Indian Institute of Management Bangalore, Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad, National Digital Literacy Mission, and NID Ahmedabad. Just do a quick search of all these 3 and just let me know when you're done. All right, fine. We'll just move ahead then. You're done, right? Everybody is done here, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're given this some kind of graphic here, which is one part graphic. You're given this one part graphic here. And what you have to do is you have to find where this graphic is present in the 4 options which are given here.
B.
Okay. A, B. Okay, then
B.
okay, B. All right, chalo. Let's just draw where what is. So here in option A, what I'm able to find is some kind of graphic which is looking like this. Okay. In option B, I'm able to find some kind of graphic which is looking like this. In option C, I'm able to find this kind of graphic which is not related to what we are given here. It's different, proportions are very different. And in this option, which is D, I'm getting this kind of weird graphic where this angle is wrong. This angle is completely wrong. So option C and D are wrong that way. In option A, this angle is problematic because it's very acute. It's too steep. This is a different kind of angle which is mostly related to what we are seeing in option B. That's where option B is the correct one here, not option A. This clear? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, so here you are given this heptagon. Now this kind of polygon is rotated on this, sorry, it's mirrored on this side, mirrored again to form this shape, mirrored again to form this shape, mirrored again to form this shape, and then again it's mirrored to form this final shape. What will be the position of this A, which is written here, in this final place? Anybody? Anybody has found the answer?
D.
The D.
D.
D. Okay, C. Somebody also said C. Okay. D and C. Okay. So in this case, this is how it will be. Issa? Iska along this axis mirror might come here. Iska along this axis mirror would come here. Iska along this axis mirror would come here. Along this axis, the mirror would come here. Which option was the one? D. Option D is the correct one. That's right. यहाँ पे नहीं आ रहा है, ऑप्शन सी में यहाँ पे दिया है. In option C, this is what is given. In option D, this is the correct one. That way. Clear? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here you're given different objects in perspective. You have to find which object doesn't fit in the perspective.
A.
Okay, option A. It's just option A.
B.
Okay, somebody says B also. Okay. Then anybody? In this kind of question, just place up. I mean, if you have n number of pens or pencils with you in the exam hall, just place it on the system. In the manner that where, in order to find where exactly is the intersection happening. almost there. There. They are almost touching each other. I haven't drawn it accurately. So option A is the only one which is not fitting in this perspective. Another thing which is also happening with option A, I don't know if you have looked at these edges. Even they don't fit in 1-point perspective. So in 1-point perspective, you have vertical, you have horizontal, and then you have these diagonals which are meeting at these 1 point. So there's a vertical, and then there are horizontal. If you look at these edges, one edge is in some diagonal. This edge is also happening in some kind of diagonal. It's near to horizontal, but it's not horizontal. So even the edges are wrong in option A. That's where I picked option A straight away, because after looking at these edges. But just to cross check, point all these lines, take a pen or a pencil with you, keep it on the screen, and then roughly start pointing them in different directions. I mean, start pointing at them to understand where they are meeting and which places don't meet together. Okay. Any doubts, any questions anybody has here? All right. So this is the side. This is how this person's arm looks like when we are looking at it from the side elevation. If I'm looking at this person's arm, it looks like this. Now, when this arm is turned, that it comes towards you, it comes towards me, or it comes towards you as a student. How will that arm look? A, B, C, or D? C and D are wrong here. It could be either A or it could be B.
A.
Can anybody tell me why am I saying
Option
C
B.
and D? Just 1 second. Can anybody tell me why am I saying C and D are wrong? How do we say that option C and option D
When
are
it
wrong?
is folded, the line should be visible.
Okay, so in C the line is not there. D में तो दिया है line.
Line should be behind the first line.
तो यहाँ पे आना चाहिए, ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ. और ये नहीं होना चाहिए.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, चलो. Good. So option C और D नहीं है. A या B में से कौन सा आएगा?
B.
B.
E.
But B में और A में फर्क क्या है?
थिकनेस चेंज हो रहा है मैम.
नारो हो रहा है ना B में.
B में, if you look at it, the person's hand is very close to you and your eye level. It is almost looking that, you know, depth में नहीं दिख रहा है, which means that B is more closer and A is a little bit farther. हाथ A में, I mean the elbow part of option A is a little bit farther than the elbow part which is seen of the person whose hand is seen in option B. In comparison, I mean, in option B it's closer, in option A it's farther, the elbow part. When it is given that the arm is turned towards you, if this person's arm is turning towards you, which means when I'm looking at it, I might look at the first part of the person's hand bigger compared to his elbow, because his elbow is farther away. His arm is turned towards him. The person's arm is turned towards you, which means आगे का part मेरे को शायद बड़ा दिखे, पीछे का ज़्यादा थोड़ा कम दिखे, because it is farther away. In option B, it looks as if the person is very close to me. I will choose option A here and not option B, for the sheer reason that, just let me remove all these things. Yeah, for the sheer reason that this thickness which is coming here is more, which means it is towards me, the hand is towards me, and as compared to this thickness which is seen, which I'm still looking at some distance. So in this case, the elbow is farther, but the hand is towards me. In this case, both the hand and the both the shoulder part and the hand part, they're almost in one plane. That's where we don't see much variation in the thickness. But here we see a larger variation, wherein when something is turned towards you, like towards your face, you always see that object to be bigger compared to something that is connected to that object and it is quite farther away. So because of that, going by that logic, I will choose option A, because I can feel that the person's hand is bang near my face, and his shoulder, it's quite farther away. It's his elbow is also going farther away. That's why I will choose option A. Anybody wants to comment on this, or would their point why option B should be chosen? Well, I think 2-3 people were saying option B. That's what I'm saying. Anybody wants to say anything? Students? Okay, fine. Take. If you want to get more clarity on this, take a photograph. Okay. Take a photograph of some of your batchmates or your mother or your father's hand and ask them to hold their hand towards you, like towards you, and then take a photo in a manner that elbow, their shoulder and their hand are visible. Look at the thickness of what it is seen in the photograph of the hand versus the shoulder versus the elbow. And after that, you might be able to get a more clear picture. Will you do that, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ठीक है. So here there's this person who is walking. You are given this two position. One is here and one is there. Here the person is more closer to the camera, and he is walking away from the camera. As he's walking away from the camera, what we have to find is which is the middle position of A, B, C, and D, which is the middle position that that this person would be standing in between, which is the middle position in this walk, whether it is A, option B, option C, or option D.
C.
C. How did you guess C?
Mom, I joined the head of the first figure to the legs of the last figure, and
Somewhere it was meeting at option.
yeah,
Okay.
intersecting.
Okay. Anybody else? Chalo, let's see. So this is a good method. It intersects at option D. So even in perspective, if you want to find a middle position of a walk of one position and second position, which is farther away in perspective, we cross it like this, like I've shown, the head and the shoe here. Wherever it intersects, that is the middle position. In this case, when I intersect this, it intersects at option D. So that's where option D is the correct one here. In this kind of question, what you can do, it's just a suggestion. If you want 2 or 3 different planes, just take two different sheets of paper, place it along the object, so I will place one paper where one edge is the head and is connecting the head and the shoe, another edge is also connecting the head and the shoe, and I'll see where it intersects. put it on, do you have to do all this on the screen? You cannot visualize, because wherever diagonals and intersections are involved, it is very difficult to visualize. Somebody has said C, and even while I was visualizing the intersection of this, even I came across the answer C. It's not that, but when I did that cross on the figure, only after that I arrived at the correct answer, which is D. So in this kind of case, in this kind of questions, don't trust your visualization much, but just put 2 sheets of paper on the screen itself where the question is projected, and then try and see where they are intersecting, or take 2 pencils or pen and place it along these lines which I have drawn, and directly you'll arrive at the answer. Any questions, any doubts, any queries? Okay, ठीक है. Sorry. Yeah. So here you're given a solid which is cut from a cube. Now this solid, when it is cut from a cube, what will be the remaining cube look like? What will the remaining cube look like of all the 3 options which are given below?
B.
B. B is this one. Okay. Option B.
Option D.
Option D. D is this one. Okay. B and D. Okay. Anybody?
Option C.
C. Option C.
C, C, option C.
Yes, the correct answer is option C. The issue with option D is this head is missing. And this head will actually come here towards, so after this, there has to be a cut like this in option D. Only then this head will fit. In option B, the bottom base is missing itself. This base, which is there, is missing in option B. That's where option B is wrong. In option A, this part is missing. The box which will come here, that box is missing in option A, and that's why option C is the correct one. Clear? Students?
Yes.
Okay. You have to have very careful observation. Just look at which are the parts which you have to look for. You have to look for a square, you have to look for another square, and you have to look for this L. The positioning happens that where this, so if I drop this vertical from this square, it aligns. This vertical edge of the square and this L aligns together, which means as soon as this L gets over on the upper part, the square fits in. And this edge and this edge, one second, yeah, these 2 edges are also aligning together, which means wherever this edge ends, wherever the L and ends, the box will come, and wherever the upper edge of the L ends, the upper part of the cube of the box will come here. So I will just look for these relationship, and that's how I will arrive at option C. So you're given this solid, and when you're looking at this solid from the top, what will be the view that you will see? Very easy question. Anybody?
B.
B.
Wow, here also there is one answer here. Okay. A, D. Somebody said D. Okay, I don't know, it was D or B, but
B.
B.
B. Okay, somebody said B, somebody
B.
said A, somebody said D. Okay, okay. One thing that you have to see is this is at an angle and it's not vertical, which means that D option nahi aa sakta hai. There has to be a sloping surface which is a triangle, which is seen in C, in A, and in B. Another thing that you will see is there's also another sloping surface on this side, which is missing in option A. जो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है और जो यहाँ पे भी दिख रहा है. So it could be B or C, but we don't see this kind of edge here. So this edge, which is there, it touches this horizontal surface. This edge, which I have drawn earlier on, is touching this horizontal surface. उसके आगे वो edge continue नहीं हो रहा है. That's where option B is the correct one. और ये rectangle, if you want to still cross check, this rectangle comes here. This sloping surface comes here. यहाँ का sloping surface ये रहा आपका. यहाँ का sloping surface ये रहा. It's one surface. If you see, there is no cut or anything. It's one whole surface. So this is that one whole surface. Any questions? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Similar kind of surface, you're given the top view. Here, you are given this top view and you have to find how it will look from when you're looking it from the front. By the shape of it, can anybody tell me what is that bottom one? What is that pyramid? What sort of pyramid it is? Can anybody tell me which are the two solids which are intersecting together? What is the bottom solid like?
A cone.
Cone,
A cone. And the top one is?
Cylinder.
cuboid,
It's a cuboid. So it's a cone and a cuboid which are coming together. So cone or cuboid, when they come together, which of these options will be there? How will that curve, how will that intersection look like? Will it fit like this? Will it be edge to edge like it's seen in C and D, or will it be how it is seen in A and B?
A,
D, C, and D.
It's one answer, it's not two answers. Two or
D.
three answers.
option A,
Yeah, the correct answer is option A here. When a cuboid and a cylinder, when they intersect each other, you will always have this kind of an edge relationship. It won't be a finished edge like this. That's not possible. If you want a finished edge like this, then this has to be a different kind of pyramid. It can be a square pyramid. Square pyramid with a cuboid, it's possible that you have a touched edge like this, but in that case you will have a horizontal edge. Ye curve nahi hoga. Option C or D gets negated there. Now the curvature is always on the upper side. It's always inverted like this and not in the other direction. Remember that. So option A is the correct one here. Any doubts? Anything anybody wants to say?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Here you're given these different six different cuboids, and they're given in 3D. And how will the top view, how will the plan look like? Very straightforward. Anybody?
Ma'am, B.
Option B.
Option B. Very straightforward. This is the correct one. Simple. Look at this edge. Look at this edge. Look at this edge. And look at this angle. It's not a 45 degree. It's not touching in the middle. Here in option A, it's touching a bang in the middle. So option A is negated there itself. B, C, D bacha, but usme edge difference hai. So I will just look at whether it's touching, whether it is recessed inside, or whether it is jutting out. It's not jutting out, it's not recessed, it's just touching the edge. That's why I will arrive at option B straight away. Any doubts? Clear? Students?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay. We'll just take 2 more questions and then we'll end the session. Okay. After this, we'll just take one question. No, 2 more questions after this. Sorry. So we have done this kind of questions earlier where you are given some kind of graphic and you have to find which option will be the one where this image is rotated. You cannot flip the image, but you can just rotate this image, this graphic.
D.
Option D.
D or B? D.
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 Yes, D is the correct one. A में mirroring हो रहा है. B गलत ही है. B का graphic से कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है. In option C also there is mirroring involved. Option D is the only one which can be obtained by rotating this figure. Clear? Good. Chalo. I'll move ahead then. Even this kind of questions you have done earlier. Very easy. You don't even need to draw this actually. So here you're given this kind of folding happening where it is folded on the horizontal plane, then it's again folded to form a square. इस square को gray part का काट दिया. You're cutting the gray part. Sorry, you're making the cut pass along this gray part. And the black part is something which is discarded. Once you discard the black part, what will remain when you open this
D.
in sequence? Yes.
Option D.
Option D. Yes. Option D is the correct one. Option C में ये छोटा दिया है. This is small. This is a bigger one. So option D, option C is wrong. Option B just has one line. यहाँ पे if this horizontal plane was happening instead in place where that black line is happening, तो एक ही आएगा. But it's not happening there. It's happening above that fold. That's where option D में 2 lines है, which is correct, and option A में भी 1 line है, तो वो भी गलत आएगा. Okay, ठीक. That's all for now. Any doubts? We'll end this session here. If anybody wants to say anything, ask anything, you may let me know right now.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.